Now to this story that we continue following, staunch opposition. That is what we're hearing right now as members of the public weigh in on a proposal to temporarily relocate Fulton County inmates to other facilities hundreds of miles away.
Yeah, Atlanta News First reporter Rebecca Schramm is live for us outside the Fulton County government building. And Rebecca, commissioners are trying to figure out how to relieve overcrowding at the Fulton County jail, right?
That's right, Don and Joy. Good afternoon to you. Yeah, they're hearing the pros and cons of the proposal today, and the sheriff says something has to be done about overcrowding at the Fulton County jail, which was a problem long before he took office. The inmates stuck in limbo, many of them are too poor to afford their own attorneys, so the court appoints one for them.
If you were to move our clients out of state, not only does it affect the client-attorney relationship, but in a sense, you are punishing somebody for being poor and unable to make bond.
Attorneys and investigators from the Fulton County Public Defender's Office and human rights advocates stood before Fulton County commissioners expressing their concerns about what would happen if their clients are moved from the Fulton County jail to facilities 300 or 400 miles away, one in South Georgia near the Florida border and the other in Mississippi.
Which is a plan that will only increase the financial and human costs without actually attaining any of the benefits that you're trying to reach.
The proposal to relocate inmates is part of a plan to temporarily relieve overcrowding at the Fulton County facility, which is currently under review by the U.S. Justice Department. This year alone, 10 inmates have died in custody. Last year's death of inmate LaShawn Thompson, whose body was found infested with insects, ended with Fulton County settling with Thompson's family for $4 million. Some opponents of the inmate relocation plan say state law requires sheriffs to send inmates to neighboring jurisdictions to relieve overcrowding. Other opponents say the plan would deprive inmates of their right to counsel.
I'm asking that you ask the sheriff to follow the law. I'm asking you to ask the sheriff to join me in standing for those who otherwise would stand alone.
Next 6. Now, my colleague Patrick Quinn is listening in on the commission meeting right now, and he tells me that the sheriff himself is getting ready to address all of this. So we will keep you posted as to what comes out of all this. Live in downtown Atlanta, Rebecca Schramm, Atlanta News First.